Hello, here we go. It's the Cop-Eye Podcast.
What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to another Cop-Eye Podcast. To have a little chat about this team news that's just came out that you'll probably see at the bottom of your screen. I'm Mick, joined by Tim and Matt again. So I'll just go through this team that we've all just been a bit amazed by, which is Alisson in goal, right back Neil Williams, Phillips and Reece Williams centre half, Robertson left back, Beanie, Milner and Keita in midfield. And the front three is Shaq, Salah and Diogo. Bench is Adrian, Fabinho, Thiago, Mane, Ox, Jones, Tsimikas, Origi and Trent. And Firmino misses out due to a man and knock. Thoughts on that, boys, initially?
I think for the first time this season, our bench could give our starting lineup a game.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I'd agree with that.
Thoughts, Tim?
Yeah, good. Tim, you go first.
Well, I was just, the only thing I was going to say is that it's clear now that he has an eye on the Champions League and resting players for that game. He's clearly kind of, putting that as the more important competition at this point in the season. I think that he knows that Leipzig are a dangerous team, and I think he wants everyone, one, fully healthy, and two, with some fresh legs. So not only am I expecting to see, is it a weaker team? I'm expecting to see the likes of Salah come off in the 60th minute for the likes of Mane to split minutes. Just because I think he wants to make sure everyone's there for Leipzig. Because again, I think he's actually trying to win that competition, and I think he knows that the Premier League is going to be up for grabs, and fourth place isn't going to be won or lost this week. So it's an interesting pick. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah, well, Jay's just coming there. What the F? I think that was all. I wish we could have recorded that initial. Maybe we start going live like a minute or two before, because that would have been hilarious just to see that reaction. Kev just came in, really strange team he's put out. Paul really did not see it coming. Mr. PIA Progress, good name that. At least it's something different to guess. And then Martin, good to see a shake up in the team, like you said. And then agreeing with you, Tim, CL definitely a priority for next week. Go on, Matt. What's your thoughts on that? It is nice to see a change. Obviously, we've got Hotter in there, we've got Keita in there, we've got Shaq in there. It's just the centre half pairing, which is it's nice to see centre halves at centre half, but it's a big change, that isn't it, to what we're used to.
I'm glad you're starting. I'm glad Keita's starting. I want them both to start. I said it yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. I made an outlandish prediction before we started the show that Div would start, and I feel like Div starting is not as outlandish as that lineup that's just been announced.
That's blew you out the water, that lineup.
Yeah. I think Klopp must have been watching our build-up that I suggested leaving Mane on the bench to bring on in the 60th minute to shock Fulham. What he's done is leave the whole squad on the bench to bring on. He's got Mane to come on. He's got Jones to come on. I hope this means that we don't, under any circumstances, see Div coming off the bench with the firepower that we've got on that bench. I don't want to see Ox either, given his current performance. But look, Phillips and Williams does not scream pacey, so I'm a bit concerned when you've got the likes of Lookman, Decordova-Reid, and Josh Maja running at him. But hopefully they can sort it out. I'm baffled.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have, now you just mentioned the Fulham team, I completely forgot to even have a look at that. It is Areola in goal, Tete, Anderson, I can never say his name. Bio. Yeah,
the one on loan from City.
Yeah. Aina, left back, Cavallero, Lamina, Reed, and then Lookman and Maja. So, like you said, Matt, they've got a lot of pace there, and Phillips and Reece Williams aren't blessed with much pace. So it's going to be it's going to be like that midfield. Like we said, we need a good midfield. So have a million Keita and Shaq and Hotter are all fresh. So having Milner and Keita on the side of a 3, and then Shaq just ahead of them, I imagine, in like a 10 type role, and then maybe Salah and Hotter as a forward 2.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I think that's what it's going to be. That sounds more likely to me. Having Shaq in the middle, just letting him do whatever he wants, and then Genie as the 6 and Keita on the left and Millie on the right, or vice versa.
Yeah, I think it'll be the front two. But recently, we've been seeing in possession. We've had 3 at the back, and then everyone sort of runs forward. But I don't think we're going to do that with basically 2 completely inexperienced players in the last few weeks, which is Williams and Williams. Then you got Phillips, and Robbo's usually been the one bombing forward. But if that happens, you've got a last line of defense of Phillips, Williams, and Williams. I mean, that I don't want to be too negative, but that doesn't scream clean sheet to me if we go 3-5-2 in possession. So I'm curious to see how exactly we're going to line up when in possession of the ball, and how the formation is going to change when Fulham have possession. I literally don't know what's going to happen on the pitch. And usually you can sort of predict what's going to happen with the Liverpool team, how they're going to move, how they're going to switch. But I don't even want to wager a guess, because I'm pretty sure I'll be wrong.
Yeah, but I think that's a good thing, because we don't know what to expect today. Like the last couple, for quite a while now, we've been kind of doing the same thing, and it's not been getting results. So the fact that we've completely changed it up today gave Neil Williams a good opportunity to come in. I mean, Trent, out of all the ones that have been dropped, he's been one of our best players probably for the last couple of games, hasn't he? So that's a bit of I suppose it's like you said, Tim, he's just resting, giving him a little bit of a break ahead of the Leipzig game. But another thing that we haven't even touched on is in the squad, like Kev's just put there, no movement when Davies coming in. Is he injured, or does Klopp just not trust him yet? And he's not even in the squad, is he? So that's a bit of a.
I think he's probably not fit enough then.
Yeah, it's a weird, isn't it? Because he was injured. He came in, then he was injured, then he went, then he was in training again, and then what do you make about all this, Tim, in terms of Davis and whatever? It must just be fitness, mustn't it? I don't know what else it could be at this stage.
Well, the more I think about it, the more I think about how last minute the Kabak signing was, and how it wasn't a done deal till pretty much the last day. The more I think that maybe Davies was just a body. And that now we've brought in this in Kabak, and he's obviously been able to step in injured today because he plays centre back for Liverpool, and therefore he's injured in 2021. But yeah, it seems like he was more covered than anything, because he's clearly prioritising the likes of Reece Williams and Nat Phillips, and rightfully so. And they've obviously proven themselves at the Premier League level, so why wouldn't you stick with them? They're also, young players as well. So, it's interesting. It's an interesting situation, because it's hard to actually know what's going on with him, because he has had a couple of knocks, and you get the feeling that if we were in a competition, maybe we would have seen him still. That wasn't the Champions League, maybe in the FA Cup or the League Cup, we would have seen him a couple of times. But it just feels like maybe that Klopp doesn't want to throw him into a situation that's unbelievably dire at the moment, because let's face it, our back line has been chopping and changing for the best part of 3.5 months now, and to throw in another guy who doesn't have any experience at this level, and it would be a bad place to throw him in, and maybe he doesn't want to shake his confidence immediately. Maybe he does think he's good enough to stick around, and he does have him in his long-term plans, but maybe he just thinks that, oh, listen, if he's going to play this year, we don't want his confidence to drop and think that he can't play it, or the fans think that he can't play at the Premier League level. So maybe he's protecting him. Maybe it's just that he's injured again, but it's anyone's guess at this point.
I'm just thinking it must be, because I think Davis is 25, Reece Williams is 19 or 20. I'm just thinking it's more of a gamble to put Reece in, or is it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just that
Reece handled Harry Kane really well against Spurs.
Yeah,
so if he's in the lineup, he's good enough. I think, like Tim said, like I said on the preview, I think Davis was just in case we can't get anyone else in.
Yeah,
and that's what it's come down to. To be honest, I was kind of shocked at the exclusion of Fabinho, but now thinking about it, it makes sense to me, considering the quick turnaround of the Leipzig game, because Phillips, if I'm not mistaken, isn't in the Champions League squad, is he? Nat Phillips has been left out of it, hasn't he?
He's not in it now, I don't think.
So basically our 2 fit centre-backs, if Kabak doesn't make it, is Fabinho and Reece Williams for Leipzig. So it kind of makes sense that Fabi's not playing today. Considering
it kind of makes sense that he's trying to give Reece Williams minutes to get back into some game shape. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
this mean that Nat is just going to be the starting centre back for the rest of the season? Guaranteed?
I certainly wouldn't complain.
No,
Yeah.
Being Nat Phillips.
Being Nat Phillips myself, I would not complain. But
I don't think he's given enough credit from the wider footballing experts, the pundits and stuff like that, because if this would be the first game of the season, I'd be very concerned at Nat Phillips being at the back. But now I'm quite confident in his ability. I'm more concerned about maybe Reece than Nat itself. I'm all right with Reece. I think he'll handle Maja all right. I'm all right with Nat. I think he'll handle Maja all right. And what we've seen is that Reece in the past has gone to ground really quickly. And sometimes that lets players get away from him. And with the pace of Lookman, you don't want him doing that because Lookman will be gone in a flash.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. But let's get a few of these comments here. Rafa's pal. Let's have some faith. You just never know. It'd be forgotten if we win this game. Very true. Nice one, Dave. 7 changes. I didn't see that. Neither did we. Fucking hell, mad one. Tony. Everyone is complaining about the lineup, but forget we need to change it up. And when Klopp does, everyone goes off the nut. Can't please everyone. It's a good point, isn't it? Because he has done this in the past, obviously, with albeit from a full strength to like a maybe slight downgrade, and we've still managed to do the job. But I think at this stage it's not a change for freshness. It's kind of prioritizing and trying to get us give us a bit of extra freshness in certain areas that we need, especially midfield, I think, which is going to be key against these, because these are a good side, I think. So
maybe we're at a point that we're super shocked at the lineup. I'm assuming Fulham are going to be as well. Do you reckon this, in a weird reverse psychology kind of way, is Klopp trying to get Fulham to come out?
Yeah, could be playing 4D chess, couldn't he? You just don't know.
Because if Fulham genuinely sit back against this, they are missing a treat to come and to pump a few past us.
Well,
I like to think that this is going to get them to not sit back.
Well, if there's that, the lineup also include, obviously we touched on yesterday, our home form. We haven't won since the 16th of December at Anfield in the league. So there's anyone who's got a bad record at Anfield can now come to Anfield and try and just press the reset button on that and get a win. So I do understand the changes, because we do need it. And like we said, having Keita back in there and Hotter, I think that's massive, isn't it, in terms of creativity going forward, and like pressing, and Millie back in there, fresh coming back from injury. So there's a lot of positives there in that lineup. I'm just hoping that it pays off.
Yeah, I don't think you. Yeah, that too. It's good. It's good to see him back in the lineup for a second straight game. The one thing you would say is that there's still enough quality in this side to beat Fulham. There just is. But I think it's interesting that he's starting Naby. I think it's interesting that he's starting Hot. I think he's trying to get them back to match fitness. I think that down the stretch of the season, especially in the Champions League, we're going to play teams where we're going to need goals and creativity from them too, especially because our midfielders are in and out with knocks and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, Millie back today. But I think that he's trying to, get some game time under people's legs so that people are ready for the bigger games in midweek. So I think that this is a tactical thing from Klopp, where he's one, as we've been talking about, prioritising the Champions League, and two, still, I think he's not exactly putting all of the kids out. He's still got quality on the pitch, and he's still got guys that can turn a game on its head in a second. So for me, the most interesting thing about this side is what formation they're going to play. And as we're talking about, when we have the ball, I think that we could see the likes of Millie dropping back into defence as the third player, and allowing Robbo and Nico Williams to bomb forward. But I'd like to see Mo, if it is a front three, I'd like to see Mo playing down the middle. I think that he kind of thrived when he played there early in the season when we switched to the 4-2-3-1. So I think it's interesting, and I would actually like to more consistently now see Mo up front, just straight down the middle, and use his pace to start picking apart defenders rather than shoveling him out to the wing and force him to beat a couple of guys before he can get an eye in on goal. So yeah.
I think we've touched on what Tony's comments here. I think it will be a 4-3-1-2, won't it? I'm hoping that's what it's going to be. We don't know, obviously, what it's going to be like when Fulham are in possession, but you imagine Robbo is going to be very high up the pitch, same with Nico Williams. So it's going to be, imagine it'll be similar to what we've been playing recently, with Robbo having the whole of the left wing, Keita coming in inside a little bit, and then having Hotter and Salah up front as a two. The pace there that you get. Well, I was going to say in behind, but Fulham will probably be quite far back, won't they, to try and negate that. But Jordan's just put a comment here. Wondered if the lineup change comes from Klopp trying to shake up the players after poor performances recently, just in time for the Champs too. Yeah, that's pretty much what we've.
Yeah, I think if anything's happened, it's made picking the lineup for Wednesday a lot easier. It's a lot more predictable what he's going to line up with Leipzig now.
Exactly.
We'll see. We got overrun in midfield against Chelsea, and I'm hoping that with Naby, with Gini, and with Milner, what he's got is a very hard-working midfield. Not saying that Thiago and Kurt don't work hard, but they're more flair players. They do a lot of work on the ball, whereas these three are just going to hassle and harry that Fulham midfield. And if we can win the midfield battle, I'll be fine. We'll win. I'll be confident. If we can sort the midfield out, we're good to go. So that's what's going to be interesting for me.
Yeah, would you play what Gavin's saying there, Tim? Would you go 5-5-0 just so we don't concede and lose again? Fucking hell, it's mad, isn't it? How far we've come. We won, battered everyone last year. Now we're going, let's just play 5-5-0 so we don't lose against Fulham at home. Fucking
exactly.
Mental. Yeah, another thing, like just going on what you said, Tim. I was looking at a stat before. If where is it now? I think I've lost it. Fuck's sake. Anyway, it was a stat that if Salah scores today, he's scored 25 goals in all comps for the third year in a row. That's fucking insane, isn't it? If he does that, and I imagine he probably will today. So let's hope he does, because I just can't wait for the Keita and Hotter link up. I mean, I know we wanted to see the Hotter and Thiago, but he might come off the bench, mightn't he, if we need him towards the end and kind of give us a bit of freshness against the hopefully tiring Fulham.
Maybe it'll be interesting. I think that it's a massive game for Jota. I think that him bagging a goal would be the best case scenario for us. I know we've just talked about Mo bagging his 25th goal of the season for third year straight, but for me, if Jota can get back and score in form, then it'll be perfect going into the week and for the rest of the season. So I think he's him and like we just said, Naby, that connection. Hopefully, some guys build some chemistry on the pitch fairly quickly today, and when we can see kind of like a bit more of a potent attack compared to what we've seen in recent weeks, which has been mild at times.
Yeah, and Steve Willow, nice one, Steve. It's just put nice to see changes. Hopefully it gives the lads left out a kick up the arse, also makes it not as predictable. So yeah, I think everyone's in agreement, Andy, that's kind of what was needed to be done today. Erectile dysfunction. Christ almighty, boys, you don't laugh, you'll cry. Yeah, I think it's just surprise, isn't it? I think it's just we expected the same old, didn't we? Again today, we expected the same team pretty much, with maybe Hotter in and Fabinho and Phillips as centre half and Trent and the usual boys. We just expected it, so it's a nice surprise. If we win, if we don't win, fucking hell, stay off Twitter. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's like I said on the top of the pod. What it gives us is if it's 0-0. It's 60, 70 minutes. Fulham will be tired. You expect Fulham will be tired. And then to see a Mane come off the bench, a Thiago come off the bench, Curtis Jones come off the bench, it's just going to be another just a mental weapon to use against Fulham as well.
I got it, Doug. I was just reading it out as I did get it. Fucking hell! I know it's early in the afternoon, but I'm just about awake for that one. Oh, Matt, sorry.
No, it's just that. I mean, the game. Hopefully, the game is won before substitutes are needed. But I'll have, actually, for the first time in ages, a lot of faith in our subs being able to make an impact if need be.
Yeah. Well, Tony's just put another comment here. When Kelleher is back, we can always give Allison time off with his family, or do you boys think he's focused on playing now since he started back? I think if he started the last game, didn't he? I'd be surprised if obviously he's not going to be 100% after a horrific death of his dad, but the fact that he's made himself available again, he should be fine, shouldn't he? I mean, he was all right against Chelsea. Didn't have that much to do really, and the things that the chances they had where he could have affected himself, he did, and made some good saves. So, yeah, I don't know. I think is Keller injured? Is he? I'm losing track of who's injured and who's not nowadays. To be honest,
I think he's injured because again in the match where Adrian came in after the match, Klopp said, "Oh, he's virtually number 3." So he's playing as number 3, and he's got 2 kids on the bench, and I'm pretty sure Keller has cropped at the moment.
Yeah, and Tomo just came in a big game today. Hopefully the frustrations in the lineup use this to show they deserve more time on the pitch. Yeah, I'm glad everyone's kind of getting on board with this lineup. I expected a bit more, what the fuck? Well, I mean, let's go back to what a certain JP.
I mean, Twitter will definitely be a very horrible place if we lose today.
Yeah, I won't be going, but I'm excited to see what this lineup does. I think it's gonna be a good one. I do fancy. Let's do. I know we've done score predictions yesterday, Matt, but let's go around again. What do you reckon, Tim? Score predictions before we get out of here.
I'm going to give us a shot clean sheet in a 2-0 win.
Well, it's not going to be 0-0 like I predicted the other day. I'm going to go 3-1, and because there's no Bobby on the pitch, I'll say
Patrick off the bench.
Yeah,
well, he's not even playing. Out the stands, yeah.
I'll give 1 to Mo, 1 to Diogo. Let's go big Nat Phillips. Fuck it.
Phillips, fucking hell. Gavin just love the picture to him. Top bloke, took the banter.
Always up for a laugh, mate. Always.
That was fucking class. I love that. I love that. Well, Gavin just came back in 3-1. Steve Willow 3-1. Doug 2-0. Kev 3-0. We won't lose, believe.
I said we'll lose 3-1.
I did. I was like, yeah, I was like, fucking hell. Tony 1-0. Quite a few clean sheets there that people are going for. I'm gonna go for 2-1. Did I ask you what you wanted, Matt? I did, didn't I? Yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-1. But yeah, boys, we'll leave it there because we're getting on for 22 minutes, and I'm sure people want to go and have a little chill before the match starts in about 35 minutes. But we'll be back right after it at 4 o'clock. And we'll be joined by James as well. Jay Cully.
Jay Cully.
Yeah. All right, boys. We'll see you all straight after the game. See you in a bit.